Okay, so GLM 5.2 just came out and we are going to be comparing it creatively, not just technically, because technically we already have a bunch of benchmarks on X. So X is full of these, right? If you want to look at the benchmarks, then you can go to X and you have multiple videos. But what they do not cover is like the day-to-day task. So I want to test it for the day-to-day task. Now in this video, I will be doing some creative prompting and I'll be looking how much capable is it if you were to use it for like your creatives to make graphics, not the graphics in a way that it is going to generate it doesn't generate images, but can it write the creative prompts that is going to give you the great images. And I'll be using GPT image 2 in this video. Okay, so I'll be comparing it to one or two models. If you want other models that you want me to compare it to, then you can comment below and I can make those videos as well. For now, we are going to be covering how well it does when it comes to writing good prompts, how well it does when it comes to ideation. Can it give you the great ideas to generate those graphics? And we'll be using BeyondBeings because we got all the models in there. So we got all the LLMs and we got all the image models as well. Local and frontier, we got it all. So it'll be making it way easier to test them, to come up with the prompts, to come up with the ideas. So it'll be a good test. Okay, so before we start, let's just see how we are going to go about this test or experiment. Okay, so what we'll be testing is, we'll be mainly testing its prompts, abilities. Okay, how well can it write a prompt for you to get the best results for your needs or your projects or whatever, right? Then we'll be checking its ideation abilities. Okay, so these are the things that we'll be checking. So let's for a second talk about why this is important, why checking the abilities is important. Because you might say, hey, I can use ChatGPT, right? You might say I can use Claude to get my ideas and get my prompts and everything else in between. Now you might be partially right, but you already know that Claude has banned OpenClaw, right? So you already know you cannot be using your Claude subscription with OpenClaw or Hermes. A lot of productive folks like us use agents, use OpenClaws and Hermes to kind of automate things, to automate ideation, to automate content generation, etc. Right? So going on ChatGPT and going on Claude every single time you need to come up with a prompt, come up with an idea is not ideal at all. In fact, I'll be showing you how you can eliminate that instantly and you'll be finding easier ways to do that, I promise you. Now we are left with ChatGPT. Yes, you can use ChatGPT with your OpenClaw, with your Hermes for now, but it is kind of like a ticking time bomb and you never know when ChatGPT comes out, puts out a tweet, and all of a sudden you are seeing you cannot use your ChatGPT subscription with OpenClaw anymore. So if you want to use stuff like OpenClaw or Hermes with your workflows, with your day-to-day content creation and ideation, etc., then you do not have a lot of choices, right? If you want to use these, then you need to use GLM. Okay, you need to use GLM 5.2, and I'm saying this with experience, not for GLM 5.2 but GLM 5.1, because I have tried a lot of methods, a lot of models, a lot of use cases with OpenClaw, with Hermes, and GLM 5.1 has been always the best, closest to the Sonnet 4.6. Now I use it purely on API and sometimes on Ollama. So Ollama is another great example, right? So if you want me to show you some test cases with OpenClaw and how you can do that, then you can comment that below and I'll be making videos on that as well. But for creative tasks, what comes close to the Claude Sonnet 4.6 is GLM 5.1, and now hopefully GLM 5.2 will be even better. Okay, so we'll be testing that. So this is why local models or open models are important for you, because you can just do stuff and you do not have to worry about getting banned. Plus they are cheaper. Plus I can show you how you can get them even cheaply. Like $20 subscription will run your whole month and you can do all kinds of workflows and stuff. But that is like another video. Okay, But pro tip, you can go to Olama, get that $20 subscription, and you'll get a lot of usage. So you are welcome. Now let's get to the website. Now I'm using BeyondBeings for testing purposes because we get all the models, and you can pick any model here and you can start using them, and you get image models as well, GPT-2 and Gemini models as well. So for now we have GLM 5.2 selected, which we'll be testing. But what we'll be testing it against is the real question. So let's just pick 4.6. Okay, and on this side we'll have GLM 5.2. So for prompt testing, let's just pick an industry. So I'll be picking, okay, let me pick business technology. Okay, so as you can see, as soon as I select technology, I'm getting some suggestions here. So 6 giants that almost went bankrupt. Inside the night, Sam Altman got fired and rehired. So this is an interesting one. How OpenAI quietly ate Google's lunch. So this one is really interesting. So we'll just pick this one. Now we have to make sure we pick the same topic for every test. So let's just pick 2 slides. So now it will be writing the prompts for us. And this is GLM 5.2. Now we can just copy this whole thing and we'll come here and we'll hit, and it will also start writing the prompts for us. So this is Claude Sonnet 4.6. GLM 5.2 is done writing the prompts. So as you can see, it has come up with a detailed prompt, and there's another slide and it has a detailed prompt as well. Now instead of just reading it and judging by the length and the words and how well they are written and what kind of dynamic details they have in there, let's just judge based on the results. Okay, so let's just pick our image model, whatever we have here. So we already have GPT image 2. Now this is the best one in my opinion. It is better than Nano Banana Pro. So we'll just hit generate with headlines. Okay, then we'll go back to the Sonnet. Sonnet has also written, and you can see these two are also well written, and I'll just go ahead and hit generate all. So now 2 of the slides are being generated on both sides. So we just have to wait and see the results. And based on the quality of the graphics, we will be deciding who the winner is, if it is close or not. Now I pick Sonnet 4.6 because it is truly the equivalent of the GLM 5.2 in my opinion, right? Now I could be picking Opus 4.8, but then it would be unfair to pick that and then putting it head to head with GLM 5.2 because there is no comparison. Okay, so we now have the results, and this is from GLM 5.2, and let's take a look. How OpenAI quietly ate Google's lunch. Now this is Sundar Pichai, very recognizable, scared of ChatGPT. Now this is funny and hilarious. Okay, and I think this is good, right? The results are good because it did pay attention to the facial expressions, etc. Now let's take a look at the other image. So you can see Sam Altman is looking pretty good, and we got his smile, he's happy, and we got the crazy background. People seem to be partying in the background. So these look fine. And once again, this is GLM 5.2. Okay, now let's get to Sonnet 4.6. So this is Sonnet 4.6. You can already see 4.6 kind of fucked up. So OpenAI quietly ate Google's lunch. So you can see Sam Altman is not recognizable too much, and ChatGPT's logo is also not very recognizable, to be honest with you. Now, ChatGPT replaced Google search for millions of users almost overnight. Now, the headline is kind of better than the GLM 5.2, but Sundar Pichai is kind of looking depressed, and the Google logo did come out a little bit better looking. Okay, so you guys need to decide who is the winner here. So this is Sonnet 4.6 and this is GLM 5.2. So which one do you think looks better? Which model do you think wrote the better prompt, wrote the best prompts? So I think the winner is GLM here clearly, right? It would not be fair with Sonnet 4.6 if we declared it a loser just based on one run, right? So we need to give it another try. So let's just pick a different industry this time and let's just see how the results come out, okay? So this time around, we need to pick a different industry and let's just pick crypto. Crypto is a big name. So Sam Bankman-Fried, this guy was super famous and was always in the headlines. So the pizza that's now worth 700 million. So this is a really interesting one. So let's just click on this. So we'll still go with the carousel and we'll go with 2 slides for now. And we'll just go copy this. So we already have Sonnet 4.6 ready, loaded up. We'll just paste it and we'll just hit go. Okay, so GLM 5.0 is done with the prompts and we can see both prompts are ready for both slides. Let's just hit generate 2 and same for the Sonnet 4.6, both prompts are ready. Let's just hit generate all. Okay, so if you do not want titles on your graphics, you can just hit graphics only. Okay, and you'll also see the option here to hit graphics only. So you can just pick any topic and hit graphics only and it will not give you the title and it will just generate the image for you. And by the way, a good thing about the website is you get the caption too. So you can just come here, select the industry, pick the topic, get the slides and copy the caption and just paste it and post, right? It makes it super easy to manage socials to post stuff. So now the GLM 5.0 is done. So the slides are ready. So you can see the quality, the pizza that is now worth 700 million, right? So you can see the guy, the Bitcoin logo is also here. He's eating the pizza. We got the dynamic circle going on in the background with the 3D effect, pizza box coming out. So for context, if you look at the caption, in 2010, a developer spent 10,000 bitcoins on dinner because the coins were only worth $40 at the time. Yes, this is a famous story that we all have heard. This guy basically spent all of his bitcoins on a pizza. So this was a massive story. This is still a massive story. Unbelievable. I bet this guy regrets it very much. If I were this guy, I'd be thinking about it every single day, bro. Now this is the second slide. So you can already see Laszlo Hense, I don't know how to pronounce his name, paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 large Papa John's pizzas. So you can see the pizza is also like golden, 700 million. So this is the amount that it would pay today. So I like the details. Let's just go to the Sonnet one. Let's just see what Sonnet produced, right? So the pizza that is now worth 700 million. So it is weird because the fact was that it was Papa John's pizza, right? Not Domino's pizza. So our Sonnet produced the Domino's pizza and this is not basically the car. It is like some fucking cartoonish character. If you go to the second slide, you can see a scrappy Detroit pizza chain quietly built a 700 million empire. Bro, this is wrong. Something went wrong here. So Sonnet 4.6 is failing miserably. So it got the headline wrong, even though we provided the topic, but it messed up in the prompt. And the second one, it got completely wrong. So this one, even though maybe if you did not have any context, then you would say, yeah, it doesn't look bad. But now that we have the context, it does not look good at all. Second one is basically a hallucination. It is not looking good. Now when we go to GLM2, man, GLM2 is clearly a winner here. So now as you guys can see, GLM 5.2 completely smoked the Claude Sonnet 4.6. So it is clearly superior. Now I do not know about the coding and stuff. Obviously it is going to be better at coding. GLM 5.2 is going to be better at coding in my opinion. Now I have seen the benchmarks and they do not even compare it to the Sonnet 4.6 anymore. they compare it to Opus 4.8 at like extra high difficulty level, right? So I think my default is going to be GLM 5.2 when it comes to tasks like writing prompts, because it is clearly better as we can see, right? Now when it comes to agentic task, meaning like doing one thing after another step by step and following the instructions, which I see all the time happening in OpenClaw, GLM usually fails there, right? At least 5.1. But I'll be testing with OpenClaw as well if it fails or if it holds up to Sonnet 4.6, because Sonnet 4.6 is still way better than GLM 5.1 when it comes to following the instructions and tool calling, etc., and long chain tasks. So if you want to see that video, please comment below, or if you have any other ideas, or if you want me to make certain comparisons between certain models in BeyondBeings, then let me know. I'll be making them anyways. But if you guys want particular specific things, then I'm open to the ideas as well. So let me know, and we clearly have a winner for today. And make sure you subscribe though so you see the other videos.